Hello everyone, again we are back with another challenge. Let's see, again we're gonna check out the FANG company's interview questions, and I have already applied the filter for Python and free questions. And in the difficulty, this time I'm going to remove easy and medium, so only we are going to solve the hard level questions this time. Let's just go and see what all are the questions that we have. So here is what we got, right? So let's try to solve this Airbnb question where it says that host popularity, rental prices, right? So let's just try to open this question. Okay, so here we got this question. Now if you see here, it says you are given a table of rental property searches by users. The table consists of search results and output host information for searchers. Okay, find the minimum, average, maximum rental price for each host popularity rating. Okay, the host popularity rating is defined as below. So in the data, let's try to have a look in the sample data. While it fetches the sample data, okay, here we got the sample data. Here is what we have, right? Let's have what all are the columns that we have into it. Now you see we have ID and price. So on the price, it asks us to find the minimum, average and maximum rental prices for each of the popularity ratings. So you see over here it has number of ratings also. It would have number of rating given, number of reviews, right? So you see here is what we have, number of reviews. All right, okay, so number of reviews we have has been given over here, and using that it is asking us to create this kind of popularity ratings. If the number of reviews are 0, then it's gonna be new. If it is 1 to 5, then rising, etc, etc, etc. Now the point which the interviewer wants us to note is the ID column in the table refers to the search ID. This ID which you see over here, this is not the host ID, this is search ID. So we can remove this is not going to be useful. Okay, you will need to create own host ID by concatenating price, room. These are the columns which we need to concatenate to create a new host ID. All right, output host popularity rating and their minimum, average and maximum rental prices. This is what is expected in the output. All right, so let's just go ahead and try to solve this problem. But before that, let's have a look how in what format the output is expected. It is pretty straightforward, right? So simple, it's hot, new, popular, rating, rising, trending. For all these things, minimum, average and maximum price, it's something which we gonna find over here. All right, so what I'm going to do is, as usual, I will try to fetch all the data from here. Okay, while it runs, okay, it is executed, and then let's just click this. So here we have this in the another tab, and just copy this, put this in Excel. Here I have already done this, and then import that. Let's import that into Pandas. So here is what I already got. Okay, now after importing this, let's try to have a look. Now you see, you remember here it said here in the question statement itself, it said that ID column in the table refers to the search ID which we require to drop. So let's, while importing this, at the same time I will drop it ID, and here I'm going to say access equals to 1. All right, so let's just run this. Now the ID is gone, ID column is gone from this data set. All right, now let's just try and see if this has any duplicate, right? So let's say duplicated, let's see. Yeah, it seemed to have duplicate data also, true. So let me just see how many duplicate values that we have. So let's call it value counts. All right, 7 are duplicate, 160 are unique. In total we have 167 rows. So let's try to remove the duplicate values. So I'm going to say ab dot drop duplicates, and into that I would say let's say, okay, that's just fine. Let's just simply say drop duplicates, and I'm going to put this in a different data set, and let's call it ab2 dot duplicated, sorry, ab2 dot duplicated and dot value counts. Alright, now we got only unique value 160. The next step comes where we need to create the host key, though that is not important, but because it has suggested over here, so let's just go ahead and try to create that. Okay, so here it says create the host ID, right? So I'm just going to create ab2 into host ID equals to, it is asking us to concatenate all this: price, room type, host, scenes, zip code. Let me just copy this all together, this all. Okay, and let's just, before I do this, here what I'll do is ab2 dot d type. Let's just see, yeah, so here is what we got. Here I simply try to find the data type for each of the columns. Okay, so that while I'm doing the concatenation it will be useful for me, right? So here what I'm going to say is ab2, maybe you can skip, you can fast forward this part, right? Because it is going to take some time and not very tough, right? ab2, again we are going to say this thing, remove column, comma, ab2, ab2, ab is nothing but Airbnb. That's for that purpose I have said ab. Okay, maybe you can name it something different, that's absolutely gonna be fine. Zip code, and the last one, yeah, we are almost there. Maybe you can do a fast forward if it consumes a lot of time. Okay, now the next thing which we need to see and be careful, here we are concatenating a string and numeric, both of those two. So for example, price is a numeric value, right? So we need to convert that to string, right? So to convert that, you simply need to say str and put that into the bracket. Room type is going to be a character value, right? Host scenes, this is a date value, so I would convert this also into the string. Then comes ab2 zip code. All right, so again this also needs to be converted to a string. Let's see this. Then number of reviews, this also needs to be converted. All right, we are done. ab2 dot head, or let's just see columns. Okay, now let me see here. Yeah, here is what we got all of them, right? So host ID is created. If you want to see the sample data, you can see, though that is not going to be very useful, but let me just show it to you. See the caveats in the documents here. What is the warning message that it is giving us? Try using LOC, etc., row indexer. A value is trying to be set on a copy of a slice for data frame. That's all right, we can ignore that. Now over here, what we see over here is host ID is created. Now the we are all set to move forward, I guess. Okay, host ID is created, duplicates are removed. The next thing is creating the kind of summary which it is asking us to do, right? So for that, of course, we're gonna use ab2 dot pivot table. That's the simplest one. I find that's the simplest one. Okay, now, okay, before that we need to create the segments. These segments are needed to be created. Okay, so let's give name to that segment as host popularity. How do you create that? So into that, let's say ab2 equals to host popularity, and into this over here I'm going to say ab2 and this has to be created using number of reviews. So here we must have number of reviews. All right, we got that, and let's call it dot apply. Into that I'm going to say lambda. This is a very useful function. Okay, you know, so here I'm simply saying produce let's come back over here, and here it says say new if the number of reviews is 0. Okay, so let's call it new if number of reviews equals 0. Else we have to say rising if number of reviews greater than equals to 1 and number of reviews less than equals to 5. So this is how we have to, okay, instead of number of reviews, let's make it simple and let's call it x, because we have already defined it as x. If you are wondering where did I define that, so it's right here, x, lambda x. Okay, so let's call it x. Oops, here is what we got. Okay, now let me just copy this, paste it over here. All right, again paste it. All right, rising is done. Then the next one comes trending up, and for that it should be greater than equals to 6 and less than equals to 15. Then comes popular, which is 16 to 40. Here comes popular, and this should be greater than equals to 16 and less than equals to 40. Then the next comes else, simple. The next one is hot. All right, so we are done, I guess. Yeah, we are done. Let's just see if this gives any error. I'm not sure why it is showing this kind of warning message. ab2 dot apply lambda x new. I don't know why it's showing this, but let's just be with it. Okay, so this is created. All right, now let's just try to make a summary of this. ab2 dot pivot table, and into this I'm going to say index equals to host popularity. Here I would just say host popularity, and the next one is values. In values, what is it that I want to use? So that I want to use price. Then aggregated function, what is that I want to use over here? In aggregated function I want to use 3 things. First one is, let's come back over here. First one is minimum, then average, then maximum. So first one is mean, then comes this mean, which is average, and then comes max. All right, so it looks good. All right, we are done. We are over here. So you see 340, 464, 633. 340, 464, 633. Mean, max. Mean, max. All right, so this is done. Now the next thing is we should also try to rename this, but other than that, you see this says mean price, max price. So how can we fix that? So for that I will just make it dictionary, and I would say here price is the column which I want to use, and on that all of these functions that I want to use. Now this is done. You see, now price is gone. Now the other problem is it's pivot. So what I will do is I will say reset index. Now you see this looks much better, isn't it? Yeah. So now next thing, we can try to rename these columns. Okay, so how can we do that? So let me just put it in summary, and let's try to print summary. Here's what we got, and then on summary we can use rename, and here I'm going to say columns. Into the dictionary I'm going to say max equals to max price. All right, then I'm going to say mean, rename this as mean price. All right, now the last one, sorry my bad, it shouldn't be a dot. Then comes mean and that should be renamed as average price. All right, we are done. You see, this is sorted. Now without any delay, let's just go ahead and try to put it and try to submit whether it is right or wrong. Let's just check that out. Okay, so this is the original data frame. I'm going to put that into AB, and before that I would just drop ID column by x is equals to 1, and let's just say shape. Let's just see what comes out of it. Yeah, so it says 167 19. Initially it had 20, so now it says 19. Okay, now let's just try to copy paste the codes over here. Here is what we got data. Then the next thing is, let's start from the point where we did the duplicates removal. Right here we removed the duplicates. Then next thing comes host ID creation. Host ID got created. Then next thing comes is pivot creation. This is also done. All right, then the next thing comes the all right, so previous one was not the not the pivot creation, rather that was creation of buckets, rather we can say. Now the next thing which we can do over here is this summary is created. Now let's run this code. This is done. All right, this is created. Now let's just check whether the solution is right or not. Ooh, this is awesome. You see, the answer is perfectly as per the expectation. So yeah, done. We just solved this hard difficulty level question which was asked in Airbnb interview. Now I just hope that it was easy and simple for you to understand. Just in case if you got any question, feel free to put that into the comment section. I'll definitely try to reply back. And if you really liked this video, if you are able to understand this, give a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that it could help to them as well. And do not forget to subscribe it for our motivation. Thanks once again. Wish you good luck.